Hello and welcome. Welcome, online students. We are so proud to have you guys here, and we're so excited to be starting a new year. It's getting very exciting to get everything together, and we've been working really hard to get things together for you. I am Janice Enlows, Miss Enlows. I am your OB expert. I'll be teaching OB content, some pediatric content, and I'm teaching IV therapy content. So I get to start the first week off. Awesome. And one of the portions that we're going to be teaching you in advanced infusion therapy is about Pitocin calculations that deal with obstetrics. Miss Smedley will be doing your med-surg, and Miss Kendler will be doing your pediatric. So I'm going to just do a very simple calculations with your Pitocin. It seems a little scary at first, but it's really not that scary. So just hang on and let me get my PowerPoint pulled up and we'll get started. And you'll be getting a lot of videos this way. A lot of times things don't configure very well. So Pitocin calculations. Well, what is Pitocin? Pitocin is a hormone. It's a synthetic hormone that mimics oxytocin that's produced in a woman's body, especially during pregnancy. Pitocin is responsible for uterine contractions. So it causes contractions of smooth muscles. It also helps with your milk letdown during breastfeeding. So it serves different purposes, but for our purposes today, we're going to be figuring out how we would introduce Pitocin to a patient that we would be either augmenting or inducing labor. And you will learn the difference between those two when we start OB. So, which we will be doing that very shortly after you do growth and development, and I'm really excited about it. So let's, one of the things I need you to remember about Pitocin, and we'll be talking about that all along, it is a high alert medication. It is not a medication that you need to just go in and hang and walk off and leave. You've got 2 lives on the line with your Pitocin, and it can adversely affect your pregnant mother, and it can adversely affect your fetus. I'm sure that those of you who've gone through the LPN program have had a little bit of this, and those of you who have not, you'll get a lot more of it when we do our OB stuff. So let's see how we're going to calculate this high alert drug. All right. You need to know the formula. That's one of the most basic things. Know your formulas. If you know your formulas, you can work a lot of problems that you'll think, oh my God, I'm scared to death. Don't think of this as an OB situation and you don't know anything about OB. Think of this as a math problem that you're going to solve. I like to use the means and extremes method, the known amount divided by the known volume, which is basically what's down below it, desired over your known dose over your known volume with desired over what you want and what volume you want. A lot of you younger guys have learned dimensional analysis, and I'm happy to let you go ahead and do that. There are also some formulas that are on YouTube. I may try to Google that for you, or you can Google it yourself. I am not dead set on how you do your calculation as long as you can calculate it and show me your work. I know that when I check on you guys in OB, the nurses already know exactly how much because they have a policy that says this much Pitocin is in this much volume. They don't figure the calculations. You will be asked to figure the calculations, so you need to know how to do this. So let's do one. Let's work one of these problems out. One of the biggest things is don't forget to change your units to milliunits. You have to have all oranges. You can't have oranges and apples. You can't have units and milliunits. They're 2 different sizes. There's a lot more milliunits in 1 unit than there is so you have to make up for that time because it's ordered in milliunits. So the doctor gives you the following order. Start your Pitocin augmentation at 15 milliunits per minute. You have on hand 20 units of Pitocin and 1,000 milliliters of D5LR. How many milliliters an hour will you set your pump? Well, we're going to put we know we have 20 units, and we're going to put that over what we have it in, which is 1,000 milliliters. We know that we want to give 15 milliunits per minute, but we don't know what the volume is, so that's where our X is. And then you cross multiply, and you get to where you have, once you convert your units 20 to 20,000 milliunits, then you get 20,000 milliunits times X is equal to 15,000 milliunits per milliliter per minute. And the reason I've done it on out that way is so you will remember this is per minute, not per hour. And your question, if you'll go back and look, is asking you how many milliliters of fluid an hour are you going to set to run to obtain 15 milliunits per minute. So we have to do a little bit more calculation when we get down to the bottom. So basically we're going to divide 15,000 by 20,000 to get what X is, which will be point. And always be sure you put your zeros in front of anything that is a point, especially in pediatrics. But always anything that you're going to give a 0.8, 0.6, anything should have a 0 in front of it or be considered a wrong answer. So you have 0.75 milliliters per minute. So we know that we have 0.75 milliliters per minute to have 15 milliunits in it. In order to figure out how much an hour we need to run that, we have to multiply that times 60. So 60 minutes times 0.75 is going to give us 45 milliliters an hour. See, that wasn't so bad. Pretty easy, right? So just don't forget you have two conversions. You have a conversion at the beginning of your problem to convert those units to milliunits, and then you have a conversion at the end of your problem to convert the minutes into hour. So you always multiply it times 60 to get it per hour. And that's all there is to it. It's not that hard. So I'm going to let you work this one. And then when you finish working this one, try these other three. And then after we have our, after Wednesday, I'm going to give you a few days to work on these problems. I will post the answers to you guys. I will put the answers, I will send them out through the message board. That's what we will use for communicating. And I will send the answer to everybody. And if you have some difficulty trying to figure it out, if it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to you, please let me know and we'll try to figure out maybe another formula that might work better for you. But if you will sit down and work with the formula I gave you and just work them and try to help, just don't get it tied up into its OB situation. Just have it tied up into it's a math problem. Now some of us have math fear, so you might want to calm yourself down a little bit before you do these problems. And it's just basic, putting that formula into use and doing basic multiplication and division. So it's really not that bad. Okay. Thank you for your time.